What's up, everyone? My name is Matthew Dale, and I am here to help you play better, sound great, and understand more. And I would venture that 90% of us guitar players don't know about the thing that I'm going to talk about today. And probably what's even worse is that 90% of those players probably also don't care about the thing that I'm going to be talking about today. Now, I'm not going to bait you all the way to the end. Let's just get into it and talk about it. Notes. Yes, most of us probably do not know all of the notes on the guitar. And I mean like really, really know them, right? So let's put this a little bit to the test. Let's do the 4th fret on the B string, for example. If you said E flat, then congratulations, you would know that. How about 10th fret of the G string? If you said F, great. How about 4th fret of the A string? If you said C sharp, that's good. Let's do something else that's not on the 4th fret or, whatever. That's 2 4th fret notes. Let's do the 7th fret of the A string. If you said E, excellent. Very good. Let's do one more. Let's do 6th fret on the E string, on the low E string or high E string, doesn't matter. If you said B flat, excellent. Very good. Or B flat on the high E string. We have 2 E strings, so we don't really need to know 6 strings on the guitar. We need to know 5 strings because we have 2 E strings. Now, if you were able to get those that fast on all those, then that's good. However, I'm sure most of us would be like, well, I need to, hold on. So if I'm, or doing the octave, so hold on, if I'm there. I could have done some more D string notes because D string is one of the no man's land. D and G are the hardest 2 strings to actually get memorized. And that's where things like this octave trick comes in, right? There is really no trick. It's just an octave. I'm going to talk about myths and things that people claim will actually help you in this later on in this video, but let's just talk about, raw notes at this point. Why you should care about learning the notes on the guitar. Because I get this asked all the time in lessons, especially people that want to improve, right? I'm sure that a lot of us aren't going to their guitar lesson hoping that they stay stagnant. I always get people in my lesson room and on my online lessons that say, I want to improve. And then I kind of start diving deeper into that. Okay, what does that mean? Well, I want to be able to, play up and down the neck. Usually that's also another thing that I hear all the time. Like, I want to be more fluid playing up and down the neck. Or usually how they might phrase that would be, I want to, seamlessly blend my scale shapes. That's not really the case. I might explain that why. That's probably a little bit of a misnomer, but the heart of that is I want to really be freed up from the things that I am used to playing. I'm stuck in a rut of my playing, and I want to be freed up from the things that I always find myself gravitating towards. So here's case in point. In college, I was part of an ensemble. We were working on something. It was like a guitar class ensemble sort of thing. And we were playing some song, and the solo section was going to be in G minor. And my teacher said, now most of you would probably play your G minor licks in one of 2 places. Here, or that same shape up to 12 frets. You would probably play in one of those 2 locations. And for a lot of people sitting in that room, he was not incorrect in that statement. But think about why you're stuck in that area, okay? In one of those 2, and that's really type 1, even though I don't like the types or the position numbers or whatever. Think about your pathway, your neurological pathway, as it would seem, getting into, we're in the key of G minor, or the solo sections is in G minor. How are you finding that shape? Why are you comfortable in that shape? And if you know that the root note is here and that shape starts there, that's usually where we start, right? Okay, so there's G, there's my G. I know that if I put that shape on top of that G, I'll play the right notes. Usually we stop there with thinking about the notes. That's where we stop with thinking about the notes, right? And then we move on to, well, I don't need to know more about notes. I need to know more about shapes. I need the shapes that go up the fretboard, right? So then we have... And then we go back to type 1, which again, I don't really like. But think about all four other pentatonic shapes. Do you know where all the root notes are? And this is just one note. This is just the G note. Do you know where every single G note is in position 2? There it is there, and then there it is. There it is up there. Can you play licks around the root note in every single area? Here's type 3. Finding the root in every single position. Position 4. Bending up. Position 5. There's 3 of them in there. Can you find all of the root notes in every single position? And if you're like, well, no, I've never actually really done that. Let me try to put that a little bit to the test. That's probably one reason you are not freed up on the fretboard, because the only time we're thinking about the notes that we were playing, which is kind of preposterous, right? We're musicians. We're guitar players. We're musicians. We don't spend a lot of time thinking about notes, which is weird because that's what we're using all the time. We're using notes. It's like, I'm a bricklayer. I don't often think about bricks. I hope you kind of see my point. It's a goofy point, but it is one that I think does matter. So that could be like step 1 into expanding your horizons of your notes. But you kind of need to know how to find the notes in order to be able to do that as well, right? So that's kind of a skipping motion. This is really the exercise, it's not really so much an exercise, but a practice that I want you to get in the habit of when thinking about notes. One of my big pet peeves, in addition to people using the phrase pet peeves, which is ironically also a pet peeve of mine, one of my biggest annoyances when I see guitar teachers on the internet, and I'm not calling people out or whatever, but we are a culture, or we have evolved into a culture of, I don't want to work on anything, I just want to get to know the stuff fast and never think about it ever again. I want immediate gratification, right? We are a culture of immediate gratification, instant gratification. So when I hear people say stuff like, learn the notes fast in 10 minutes, and here's this 10-minute and 3-second video, 3-second of introduction and then 10 minutes of, whatever it is, or learn all the notes in 2 minutes, insert whatever video you've seen on this. And you probably have my point. And they show you some sort of exercise. They might show you the octave tricks here and there. But they're just lying to you, unfortunately. You can't get to a point of fluency. And I mean, you're not thinking about the notes anymore at this point. You are just playing and knowing the notes. You cannot get to a point of fluency in 2 minutes. In 10 minutes, in a half hour. This is something that you need to practice and develop into your playing and practice habits to develop over a long period of time. Something like, okay, here's a C, here's an A, here's an E, here's a C sharp, D flat, here's an E flat, here's another C sharp, another C sharp, here's a B, there's another B, right? I'm just sort of, playing random notes along the fretboard, just trying to kind of test myself here. You cannot get to that point without developing habits. Now, the nice thing is, learning the notes or learning how the notes present themselves on the fretboard is really easy. And it just takes a skosh, a just blip of some music theory knowledge. And I'm going to just pause right here because I do have a 100% free guide, my Essential Music Theory cheat sheet, and you can find it at matthewdale.com/theory. I will also link to it in the description box below. So this is a handy guide for all of your major scales, just some of the basic building blocks of music and music theory, chord formulas, scale formulas. It's a really good general guide. If you're a teacher, I use this all the time in my lessons. Go ahead and check it out. Again, it's just 100% free. Check it out and enjoy it for yourself. Now, here's how music works on the guitar. Here's how music exists on the guitar. We have 6 strings. The strings are tuned to notes. They're not string names, they're note names. E, A, D, G, B, and E. The way music works, we exist in a 12-tone system. Why do you think there's a special double dot on our guitar at fret 12? It's where the system turns around, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 notes, and then back on the 12th fret, that pattern of those 12 notes starts over again. Now, how do we label those notes? We have 7 note names, and then we have sharps and flats to alter those note names on various pitches. And we have the note names A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. And by the time we get to a G, we turn around and we go back to A. That's just some fundamental music theory stuff for you. Now, our guitar neck, our frets are laid out in half steps. That is the smallest gap we have in our Western music system to play these notes. Half steps naturally occur between E and F and B and C. That's all you need to know. And I mean really know. That's all you really need to know to put notes on the guitar. Let's start with the A string, and I will explain this to you. So here's the note A. A to B, because it's not B and C and E and F, is a whole step, and a whole step on our guitar is 2 frets. That's a B note. That's not hard to find, right? B to C is a half step, so go up a half step. There's a C note. C to D is a whole step. D to E is a whole step. E to F is one of our half steps, one of the 2 half steps. F, whole step to G, G, whole step to A. I'm back on 12. The system is going to repeat. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and if I had 24 frets, somewhere around there would be another A note. That is almost 2 octaves across our A string. That's all it really takes to put notes on the guitar. And you can wash, rinse, and repeat this method across all of the strings. How about let's do our high E string. E, half step to F, whole step to G, whole step to A, whole step to B, half step to C, whole step to D, whole step to E. We're back. I do this with kids, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds, and they get it. And they're able to grasp that concept really quickly, which is good. It's an easy concept. But then comes the time to really put it into practice, right? So anytime you play anything, try to at least think about the notes a little bit. Here's the solo to Get Back. Right? If I look at the notes that I'm playing up here, I'm playing F sharp. Okay, how is that in F sharp? Well, I could say 12th fret on the G is going to be a G. What's a half step down from G is F sharp. I could go through the system, G, whole step to A, whole step to B, half to C, whole to D, whole to E, half to F, up a fret, F sharp. So F sharp to A, B, bending up to C sharp, plucking, E, going back. Now, step 2 might be trying to recognize, is that a part of a scale? And that happens to be a part of the A major pentatonic scale. That leads me to another thing to look at, and we'll circle back around to this solo here in a second. All your scale shapes. Don't just play back to our immediate thing. Here's G, and here's the shape minor pentatonic. And then the other shapes going forward. Right? Think about these notes. G, B flat, C, D, F, G, B flat, C, D, F, G. And I can keep going. I can get out of the pattern of the shape. G, B flat, C, D, F, bend up to G, because that's a whole step. Bend it back down, F, D, C, B flat, G, F, and so on and so forth. Looking at the shapes, not just as shapes, but groups of notes, which is what music kind of is. Now, as I go forward with, how about this? F sharp, A, B, D. And then C, natural, which is different than what I played here, which was C sharp, C natural, A, C natural with a little bit of a bluesy bend. Right? Doing sort of a note analysis of that. Later on, you can also do a scalular intervallic analysis of it, if you don't mind me using the big words. So on A, on top of this A chord, 6, 1, 1, 6, 1, 2, 3, 5, 5, 5, 3, 1. Now on the D chord, 3, 5, 6, 1, back to A, flat 3, 1, flat 3, and bend up a little bit. Right? Intervals is really, really, really great to look at as well, and will help you understand the solos that you're learning a lot better. That's probably a topic for another video. This one is on notes. The idea is really to care about knowing the notes. Not because someone on the internet, including myself, because this is not what I'm saying, told you that you are less than for not knowing the notes. You know, we've probably all gotten that at some point. If you ever played band like I have, played in like school bands, and your band director is like a horn player, and they're like, "Oh, you're a guitar player, you don't read music." We've probably all gotten that at some point as well. So I'm not calling you out. I'm not saying, you know, you're a bad player for not knowing notes. What I am saying is if you want to improve your guitar playing and really improve your guitar playing, and the notes are misty and clouded for you, you might find it worthwhile to start paying attention to the notes that you are playing and see where that leads your playing. It will not hinder your playing at all, but see if it actually starts to develop passively this notion of, oh, well, I know that this lick here, G to B flat, well, there's a G here. I wonder if there's B flat and F there. Or maybe I can find that G there. Maybe I can find that other places. And then that might end up freeing up your brain from, now I'm not thinking about the scale shapes that I'm playing. I'm thinking more about the scales that I'm playing. And then I'm actually thinking more about the music that I'm playing. I'm not so much a guitar player. I'm not playing scale shapes on the guitar. I'm playing music on the guitar. I'm a musician expressing my music through the best instrument in the world, as we all know. I hope you found that a little bit worthwhile. Notes can help you immensely. It's not anything immediate. It's not going to be immediate. But what can be immediate is your learning and yearning and implementing this in your everyday playing and practicing, caring about the notes, going through that system, finding the notes, going through all the songs and the solos and the licks you know, studying the notes you're playing. Take all that. Hopefully that helps you. Leave me a comment in the space below if you think it is helpful. My name is Matthew Dale. I'm here to help you play better, sound great, and understand more, and I'll see you in the next video.